Estoy en internet ahora. Hello. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I arrived yesterday in my town, and yeah, I have been running everywhere since I arrived here. So I'm almost an hour late, so sorry for that. Today, we have the one of the ayahuasca talks for today. It's Unconditional Love. I will just make a general introduction about the subject, and if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. But before starting with that, I will give it a few minutes so we see who wants to join. At the moment, I see some of you already connecting. Hello, Obin, Sabine, Eva, Maria, Jorge, Peter, Alina, Dane, Carito, Kulen, Tony, Hans, Paolo. Greetings to all of you. My boyfriend is watching this. Hey, Hopsy. So do you remember, like a couple of days ago, I was asking on my Facebook about if you know, if love has duality, and I have seen many replies after that. You know, question has been put in the air. It's interesting to see the different conceptions of love that we can have and create, and it's interesting because, you know, if you see the conception of love that you have, it's basically what you are going to build. You know, that is the reality of love that you will experience in your life. So if your conception of love or your concept of love is limited, then also, you know, your experience with love will be limited. We hear many times about, you know, unconditional love. And when I decided to talk about this, I was asking the universe, like, universe, what is really unconditional love? What is love? And it said to me, it's everything. It's everything. Everything that we experience, it's unconditional love. Our existence is unconditional love. All the things that happens in our life are based in unconditional love. From who? Well, from you, from the universe, because you have free will to create the reality that you have. And in every moment, in every second in your life, the universe is giving you an opportunity to learn, to forgive, to understand, to grow, or the opposite, to feel, you know, disappointed, hurt, and all the other, you know, negative feelings that we have. And when I ask about the duality of love, if this is something that really exists, you know, duality is when a thing has two sides. In my experience, I don't believe in the duality. I see that hate, for example, is just the absence of love. I don't believe that darkness exists as a separate thing, you know, from the light, for example. It's the same thing. It's also part of the life. It's the light. It's the part of the consciousness that has forgotten that is light. But if you think about light and dark, for example, you can create a flashlight that can illuminate a room, but you cannot create you know, a flashlight that create darkness, for example, because darkness is just the absence of light. You can decompose the light in the 7 colors, and then you have all this spectrum. But the dark, you cannot really, you know, discompose. It's just one side of, or one extreme of love, but it's still the same. Oh, hello everybody. I see that more people is joining. Hello, Esther. Hello, Christian. Hello. I see all the people from different countries. Greetings to Philippines, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, everywhere. England. Thank you for being here. This year, it's closing. It's closing in for me. With the big realization of what is unconditional love. And unconditional love comes in our lives when we finally surrender and accept that our only nature is love. When we have said no to suffer, when we have renounced to live in pain, when we have decided to find the truth, when we have decided to find our essence, when we have stopped to lie to ourselves, when we have stopped to bullshit ourselves, then is when we find unconditional love. And then yesterday I asked, because a lot of you also asked me about twin flames and these kind of things, and I asked the universe, if love is unconditional, if love is the same for everybody and for everything, then what is the difference, between unconditional love and romantic love? What is romantic love? And the universe says it's an invitation. So that means that any person actually that has understood what is unconditional love can love, anyone. You can build a relation with anyone because there's no difference. But there are times that our spirits decide to reincarnate and to share similar experience, and then we find this similarity and this resonance that make us believe that there is, this more special connection, but there is not really a more special connection with one person or another person, or with an animal or a person, because unconditional love is everything. Like, unconditional love, it doesn't have conditions. Like the name it says, it doesn't have conditions. It doesn't have demands. It doesn't have drama. It just understand. And one of the most beautiful things that we can experience as human beings is, for example, to have relationships, and relationships of many kinds. Like the first relationship that we have when we come as babies is the relationship that we have with our mother, with our father, with our brothers, our sisters, then with our friends, as we grow. And then later when we fall in love, also we experience these relationships. And relationships are a really wonderful way of learning, and really fast. For me, the relationships that I have experienced in my life have actually brought me to the understanding of unconditional love that I have. But and not because the relationships that I have has been, the best and the most wonderful. No, it has. My relationships has been really, really difficult. I have put myself in situations where I really needed to learn how to love myself. And until we don't embrace the love for ourselves, we are going to keep attracting situations in our life, people in our life that are going to become the teachers or the students, for understand that everything that you need, that you want, is already inside of you, and there is nothing external that you should be looking for, because everything is already there. And then when you have that understanding, when you don't need anything anymore, when you don't want anything anymore, when you are just happy and grateful with what you have already in your life, and when you can embrace that, then the time for share that understanding comes. And that's like, when you start to attract everything, like relationships, good ones, a good job, abundance, because finally you don't need anything, then everything comes automatically. It's also similar. I don't know if you people have heard about the law of attraction. It's similar. Please feel more than welcome if you want to ask something in the comments. You can do it. I see many of you, so we don't become bored here just listening to me. So please, if you have any questions related with the subject, or if even not, with ayahuasca, because this is also ayahuasca talks, just feel more than welcome to ask, please. I will wait for that, and while I wait for that, I want to invite you, all of you, to check our calendar for next year. It's already in my blog, naisha.blog, and I'm also posting it on my Facebook and in our Facebook group Taita Inti. And for next year, we are going to be more people in the team. Most of you already know Mac and Soraya, but now also 4 more shamans are joining us. 2 shamans from Ecuador, one of my friends, really good friends from my town, Paolo, it's also coming, and this is because I see that in the work, or I don't know how to say it, like in the field of the plants and the ayahuasca, I see that a lot of shamans, they have jealousy, competition, and who is better than the other. But these times are not for this. These times in humanity are for share. These times in humanity, it's to embrace our gifts, and then to help other people to also find their own gifts. It's a time for diversity. It's the time of globalization, not just in how to say, it's not just the globalization in technology terms, but also in the spiritual aspect. It's a time for the unification of the knowledge. So in these times, we have more access, for example, to know about the indigenous cultures in the Amazon, the indigenous cultures in the North Pole, I don't know, Africa, blah, blah, blah. And all these small pieces of knowledge are now, being put in together for all of us to achieve what we need to achieve as a collective consciousness. When you understand the source of all these practices, it's just love again. Every spiritual practice, even religions, is all about love. It's all about finding love, because that's the most important thing that it's all around. All the movies are based on love histories, not always romantic, but all have, the subject at the end is love. If you see all the market, how it's built, it's all about feeling that emptiness. And what is that emptiness that we all feel, when we go here looking outside for, things to fulfill us? Is love. It's just as simple as love. And it's very difficult for most people to understand that. And it's more easy to just diverge and to get distracted, because we have so many distractions as well, around us. So it is important to be loyal with yourself, truthful with yourself, and if you really want to, start living a life that is just fulfilling, that is all the time just expanding and growing, then it's time to become and to embrace your essence, which is love. And then to see, all the things that doesn't allow you to embrace that love. And that's what we call healing. That understanding of our essence, of becoming love, of becoming whole again, that's the healing part. Because we want to heal because we don't feel, healthy. We don't feel good. Not just healthy physically, emotionally, mentally. It's so much going on, in our Western societies that we have forgot. And if you see, for example, and that I do a lot of ceremonies in countries that are really developed, so to say, because what's developed really? But in economic terms, in infrastructure terms, in educational terms, like I work a lot in Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, Netherlands, UK, and when I see, the reason behind it, because all these countries has already achieved a level of materialism that is like, what else you can have? And the big hole, the big emptiness is still there, more than in the countries that doesn't have these, material things covered yet, or educational things, because everybody else, apart from, these countries that are just, working as hard to go to that level, but at some point they're going to come to the same conclusion, that there is nothing that the material part can fulfill, because the emptiness continues there. And that's why, a lot of these countries are now looking into the spiritual paths, because now it's this big realization of what else I can have, what else I can achieve in the material. I have everything. I have access to education, I have access to food, and not only food from my country, but from everywhere. When I'm in Sweden or in Norway, for example, I find coconuts there. I find bananas there. Like this 10 years ago, 15 years ago will not be possible. So now it's like you don't even have to travel, to enjoy these things. You have already the privilege to have many things, but you still empty. Why? Because the answer is not in there, the answer is not in the outside. The answer is all in the inside. And then you will enjoy everything that you have already. And you will not need to go buy coconuts and bananas. It's a metaphor that. So please don't be shy. I don't see any question yet. Okay, Mac. Hey, Mac. Mac is already coming. This month, this January that is coming, we are starting the 1 month diet. So we are going to be around 20 people sharing 1 month together in a isolated place, and we are going to do the diets. I was talking about that in my last ayahuasca talk, and we are going to be doing 16 ceremonies in 1 month together at ayahuasca San Pedro. And many people is starting to fly today. So we are really, really excited to have this opportunity. We are going to be 8 shamans working with these 20 people. And all the people that are coming to this event are people that we have already been working with, and that we know that they want to go to the next level or to go deeper in their spiritual journey. And yeah, it's just the dates are now, just passing. We start the 2nd of January, and it's something that we do every year. So if you are interested, in joining this, then the requirement is just to join one of our retreats. Even if it's the weekends retreats, that will give you a chance to come then to do this 1 month diet with all of us here in the jungle. It's something that I do because I find really good to start the year with cleaning ourselves, not just the emotional part, but everything, the mind, the body is a completely detox. And also to allow time to see how our year has passed, what we have achieved in this year that is leaving us, and what we want this year that is coming. Because everything, how we start also says a lot of what is going to come when our compromise with life. So if it's your plans are going to be drinking this 1st of January, good for you. If your plans are other ones, also good for you. Unconditional love also, it's about respecting everybody, everybody's decisions of having the experience that they want to have. There is nothing wrong to don't spend your life looking for answers or finding love, if you are happy. There are many people out there that they don't have idea about, spiritual stuff, but they are happy. So then everybody that comes to the spiritual path has come because we are not happy. Until we can understand that, we have been already happy all the life, but just we were not able to see it, to understand it. And this understanding comes deep inside of us. It's something that you can read in books, but it will not make any sense really until you experience that. And when you experience, then when you read, all the books that talks about unconditional love and blah, 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 then it's like, wow, and then you realize you cannot really put it in words, because unconditional love covers everything, covers your healing, covers all your relationships, because when you walk in your life through unconditional love, you will see people as they are, without putting their makeup to them, without making excuse for them, but just seeing as they are and loving them, without judgment, with tolerance, with patience, with all these things, because that's part of the unconditional love. And then through this, understanding, you help people to reach the same understanding as you. Mark was saying that he can hear the batch in the batch. What is batch, Mark? Batch. You mean the Beatles? I don't know. Okay, here we have a question. Hello. How can we let go of attachments from previous relationships? How can one not care if the person is doing something? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, becoming love, embracing unconditional love, because real love, unconditional love, it's about freedom. It's about, being in that level of, trust, confidence, that there is not, I own you, you belong to me, I belong to you. There is not such thing. And when you are in that energy, you cannot, even consider owning somebody or being, or having, certain kind of, control to the person that you love. It's about freedom. And freedom should not be misunderstood with, doing everything that you want and harming other people with that. No, it's we have a word in Spanish that I don't know how it is in English really, but there is something that I have noticed that a lot of people in a spiritual practice, that they bend it, they bend the meaning of freedom, and they go and they, have so many relationships at the same time, and they're messing all with, with all these things. And they're, when you are in a level of understanding of unconditional love, there is no need to mess with anybody, There is not even need to be in a relationship to start. There is not even like sexual desires, because the sexual desires also, it's a way for us to fulfill an emptiness. For some people, it's a way to feel love, or it's how they understand love. So even when you are, when you have experienced the unconditional love, or when you become the unconditional love, all these sexual desires just disappear. There is not anymore, because you are complete, you're perfect, you're happy. You are in that energy basically all the time, it's like a cosmic orgasm. And then when you're in a relationship and you have the opportunity to share, interaction in that level, then it's just even more beautiful. It's more beautiful that you don't want to go, and like have it with everybody. So how you can let go of your attachment, then, to be more specific, is observing what is attaching you to that person. What is not letting you go, letting that person go out of your life, or why you're not letting that person go. If that person has something that you would like to have, in your own life? Sometimes when we are in relationships, sometimes we love what we cannot be, what we cannot have, what we think that, you know, that is not possible for us. So there are different ways to realize how to let go relationship, but it becomes difficult also when we are not ready to learn what the relationship has for teachers. You know, when we have not really understand what was the teaching for us there. So then you need to just be honest with yourself and ask yourself why it's so difficult really to let this person go, you know. Do you feel that you have not do all what you could while you were together, you know, to make the relationship? Do you feel guilty about the relationship? I mean, there are many things that you need to observe in order to understand why, you know, this cannot go. We can talk more about in private and to see what we can find, why you cannot let go of that person. And what you say also, Elo, here, like, how can one not care if the person is doing something? Yes, you still care him, but you know, you also understand that this person has free will, and you know that that person, as you, is it's also, you know, a spirit that has a higher level of consciousness. So sometimes it's just our ego that thinks that he will not be good without me, or he doesn't know how to do his or her life, you know, without me telling that what to do, or without me giving the advice or this. It's also part of the control, but mainly it's the ego that wants to know, you know, oh, why that person is doing something without me, why is enjoying life. And the ego is connected with the self-confidence and self-love that we don't have. Okay, I continue with the next. Hughes, no, no, Hacks from Santo Domingo. Oh, thank you, from Czech Republic. I'm packing my stuff right now. Okay, I see you soon. I'm so happy, guys and girls, for this, that you're coming. May, you're finishing packing as well. Yeah, a lot of you are going to spend Christmas, I think, on the plane. I spent Christmas on the plane as well, flying here. Mi amigo Jonathan quiere saludos a Chile. Some people is asking me why I don't speak Spanish. They want to hear in Spanish. I will say now that I'm going to also put perhaps talks on Spanish, or I'm going to start writing subtitles in Spanish as well, but it's a lot of work. So if any of you, there people, wants to help me doing that, you know, with subtitles for these videos in Spanish, I will be more than grateful, so that other people can hear this, because it's a lot of work, you know, to do one video in Spanish and then the other one. Antonio, estamos trabajando ahora en poner los videos con subtítulos en español, pero realmente los videos son en inglés porque hay más público que habla en inglés, que están interesados en los temas que conversamos aquí. Pero yo creo que con el tiempo ya se va a ir formando una audiencia en español para esos temas espirituales, temas de plantas, de desarrollo personal. Espero que cuando tomamos esta iniciativa de empezar a poner subtítulos ahora y traducir también los artículos que escribo de vez en cuando aquí en Facebook y en mi blog, que más gente también se conecte para poder hacer específicamente vídeos en español para toda la comunidad. Pero la intención es que el próximo año ya se empiece a trabajar esto. Espero que sí. Okay, that was a long break in Spanish. Yo cantar la svenska. No, I will not do it in Swedish. That will be too much. Swedish people, you speak English, so no problem. May say spending New Year in Brazil. Oh, that's a good one. 18 hours delayed in Brazil, huh? Batos, will you asking me if I can go to? Well, actually, next year it's going to be the first time for me going to new countries. I think this is Europe, West Europe, if I'm right. And we are going in April. Going to be in Hungary, and also in Bulgaria. So I think it's. I'm not sure. Yeah, so don't get offended. I'm not sure if Czech Republic is nearby. So maybe people can come there. I'm going there with my shaman friend Paolo from my town, and maybe people can join from other countries to this ceremony there. And thank you, Ella. I also like it very much. Yes, you can check in my blog. We still have some dates available for retreats. If you are interested in hosting any retreat, but it's getting full already. So you can check. We are going to have as well next year 12-day retreats. I think 2 12-day retreats with the Ecuadorian shamans that are coming. So we're going to be 5 shamans doing that retreat. We are going to have, if I'm not mistaken, 5 ayahuasca ceremonies and no, I don't know, sorry, but it's going to be many ceremonies. And we are going to have San Pedro ceremonies at nighttime, daytime, and ayahuasca as well. So if you're interested, please write us an email in info@taitainti.com, and then we are going to send you the whole program with all the information and who we are and what we are going to do and where it's going to happen and all these things. Because the technical details sometimes I don't know. That's why we are a team, Mag is taking care of that. Mag, where are you? Benjamin is asking anything happening in Rotterdam. We are not in Rotterdam, but we are going to have ceremonies in Netherlands for sure. And Netherlands, you can always take train. So we are going to have a ceremony, maybe one weekend and then maybe 5 days retreat in Netherlands. But it's in the calendar. And the weekend retreat, it's going to be probably in April, but I need to coordinate with the lady that was contacting me. I didn't have time yet. But there is another date that is already confirmed for Netherlands, Benjamin. And UK also, we are going to UK. Do you have more questions? The subject of unconditional love is such a, I don't know, big subject. It's like talking about the universe. You can speak many things about unconditional love. So it is easier if you have any questions about that we can, focus in that part, because I also don't know what parts of unconditional love you would like to hear. Like I say in the beginning, when I ask the universe what's love, what I'm going to say to the people, what is unconditional love? And when I receive the answer, like, it's everything, then it's like, it's just so simple. Even there, like when we speak about unconditional love, we cannot really make a lot of big, philosophies and conceptualizations, because it's just so simple. What is unconditional love is everything that you're experiencing. Then, for you to understand that, then you need to take the decision and to go for it, And there are many ways, like, for example, the plans, the ceremonies, that we work with. This is how I have get to that understanding. But there are many other, tools that you can use to get to the same understanding, until a point where you realize, okay, I don't need anything anymore. And, in my path, I've so connected now with myself and with the plants that I don't need ayahuasca anymore. I don't need San Pedro anymore. I don't need anything anymore. But I continue doing the work that I need to do, because I want and I wish that everybody can understand the same, not because of how to say it. It's not that I want from my ego. It's a one from, from my heart, from unconditional love. Because when you get there, all what you want, just like unconditional love, is to share it. All what you want is that everybody else can experience it. All what you unconditional love wants is that that we all grow together, and that we all are enjoying it and celebrating the same thing. Because it's just going to be then, a big celebration in this planet when all of us finally get it. And then it will not be anything, or not problems, anything to fix, nothing. We are going to be just so amazing. It will be just, I don't know, a super planet. And that's the motivation that I have, because I have experience and I know that it's true. And sometimes people say that things are not possible just because that thing has not become possible in their reality. But when one person has made something impossible possible, that opens a door for everybody else to know that it's possible to do it. And then it's just about to take the decision to go for it, and also to make possible for yourself. So people, what are you waiting for? All is in your hands. Hello. Are you seeing more people here? Love, connection, unity, oneness. Love. Okay, May. You're asking like if love is the same as connection. Yes, it is. The disconnection that we feel, the feeling of being alone that we feel, is because we have disconnect from love. And then that's why you keep looking for something in the outside to make you feel that connection, that is just love. So our reconnection is about that understanding of love, becoming love. And that's when we reconnect, because once you reconnect with that love that is inside of you, you see that you have never been alone, that you are not alone, that you will never be alone, and then everything is just love. And people can say, oh, you are so naive, like love and light and this. No, it is a reality. It is possible. I see it in my life. As just your reality of suffering and pain is real for you, the reality of love and light is also real. Just because you are not experiencing it doesn't mean that it's not possible for you to have it. But like I say, if one person has got to that understanding, and there are many persons through the history, many people through the history that have experienced and have been writing about it. But you can, like I was saying, you can read about this, but to understanding, to get to that realization, it takes more steps than just the reading. But the information that we put in books, like, or when I write articles, for example, is just a way to say, yes, I have seen it, I can speak about it. And that's when we create all these books, because we want to share it. But still, it's a personal decision to get there. And it takes, for some people, it takes years. For some people, it takes months. For some people, it takes days, minutes. I cannot say, what is the thing that makes the difference between one person that achieves that understanding in one ceremony, for example, than with one person that do it in 10 years. But I will say that it is what it is. And we cannot question, how our journey is going to be, because everything that is happening in your life, it's bringing you to where you are right now, and to where you are going to be, in the future. So that's why it's we also here to talk about a lot the importance of being present, of being in the now, of live now, because your life is happening now. and then that's also a way to start really, seeing the true in yourself, in your life, the true in other people. But if you live the now, thinking about the future, thinking about the past, you are missing all, these small details in your life. And then, of course, you're not able to see really people for who they are, I don't know if you understand that part, but I hope so. And then I may also, love is saying as connection, saying as unity and oneness. Yes, it's all the same. Like everything is in love. Like love is like a diamond, a diamond that has different parts. You have seen a diamond, I don't know. And what we come, every time we come to this planet as human, or every time we have experience in this also lifetime, what we are doing is cleaning, one side of this diamond that is love. And this lection, for smaller or bigger that is, it's going to bring us to the same point that is just love. Yeah, because every time you clean a thing, you will see the crystal, and this crystal is love. So it doesn't matter whatever your experience is going to bring you always to that same understanding if you are able to see it, of course. Lucy, I'm interested in the other tools you mentioned. I cannot access plant medicine at the moment, and I likely realize I still have a lot of fear around romantic relationships, and I get really confused. Okay, Lucy, if you want, we can talk more on private also, and we can. I can help you, like trying to see through asking you questions about, from where is coming your fears, how to work with your fears, because also when we do the ceremonies with plants, is not a way to how to say, it's not like cheating, it's not going to be faster. It's just a way to see things more clearly, but you can also see it clear without the plants. But for that you need a little bit of guidance sometimes. So if you want, Lucy, because it can be, many things connected with that fear that doesn't allow you to fully, accept love, so that you can enjoy to be in a relationship. Relationships are so interesting ways of learning love. But what I have, in my experience, what I have found is it's difficult when we don't love ourselves. That's what makes it difficult. And all the fears that are connected in a relationship are connected exactly with that point, that we don't love ourselves. I don't know if you understand that. So then you need to ask the question, do you love yourself really? Because when you really, really, really love yourself, there is no fears for being in a relationship. Because as I say, then the relationship just becomes an invitation just to share that love, but it doesn't become a situation for become a martyr, a savior, a mother, a father, and all these kind of things, but just as a communion for sharing that love, but with the understanding that you are already complete. So please, Lucy, write to me in private so that we can speak better about that. But all is connecting in relationship with first loving yourself, and again, with understanding what is really unconditional love. I will share with you about what just happened with me. You all saw that I'm in a relationship now, and I thought that now I'm in love, of course, but I thought that I fully understood unconditional love, but I realized that no, I didn't, until I was in this situation. And when this opportunity came to know that my love it was in love also, I have this big fear of oh no, not this shit again. I don't want to be used again or to feel used again. I don't want to be hurt again. And then I realize I don't want to be used again. Like, have I been used really? And then I found the answer in me, in the same question. I realized, no, I have never been used. I have let myself to be used. Nobody can use me if I don't allow it. So I have let everything happen. So then there should not be fear, about uh, feel that you're going to be used again, because it's completely up to you, basically. And the trust that when you are in the love, you realize like nobody can really use you, because it's just, the person is just fooling himself or herself. Nobody can really use you. And then the other fear that I have, apart from like that being used to, I don't want to be hurt, again. I could not handle anymore to have my heart broken. And then I say like seriously, who had broke your heart? Anybody. It's just yourself, just your own insecurities, just your not loving yourself enough. That has broke yourself. Your expectations of love. Your expectations of love. Your expectations or that person, of what this person is going to do for you to fulfill the emptiness that you have, to make you feel that love. But that is not the function of our, partners to fulfill that emptiness. That is our responsibility. And that's why relationships in general doesn't work, because we are expecting that it's going to fix us. And a relationship is not going to fix us. It's just going to bring us to the same point that we need to fix ourselves, that we need to love ourselves. Yeah, and every time your heart is broke, you come to that realization, like, I better I'm alone. I'm more happy alone, because nobody can hurt me. But it's not like nobody can hurt you. It's just that you're not expecting them anything. So all these, love, romantic things are really interesting. Subjects. So please keep asking. Live in the moment, exactly. Lucy says, yeah, I understand. Need to work on that, loving myself more. Yes, all what is relationships is about loving yourself. At least in the relationship I have experienced, all has brought me to the same point. Like, when you are going to learn how to love yourself, that you don't need anything, a guy to comes to tell you like, oh, I love you, to feel it. You need to feel it already. And then when you are there, and then somebody says to you, oh, I love you, and you are like, okay, nice, thank you. Thank you for that. Hello, Gerda. Hello, Ali. Hello, says. Wait, how can we unconditionally love ourselves more? Okay, by accepting yourself the way that you are. That instead of finding mistakes in yourself every day or every time that you look in the mirror, for example, instead of finding the mistakes, that you find all the beautiness that you have, all the good things that you have, like if you're a caring person, or if you love animals, or if just when you wake up and you say like, wow, it's a new day and the sun is shining already. You can also, unconditionally love yourself more by being more positive about yourself, by not being so hard with yourself, not so demanding with yourself, but accepting that, yeah, it's okay, you're having this experience to learn. So don't try to hurry. Don't try also to punish yourself. Enjoy the moment, what is happening, and be fully present, because when you're fully present, then you're going to see that life is offering all the time this opportunity to learn how to become love and how to unconditionally love. That's about being present. to really be able to find in every second, in every microsecond in your life, how to unconditionally love, because we have interactions with people, with everything around us. And, even with our things like our cell phones. Sometimes we are very, very bad with the cell phones when they are not working. But even there, you can learn, like being patient with the poor thing. It's not the fault of the poor thing. I mean, just that is a small example of life giving you, opportunities to learn unconditional love. Lucy say, I think that I am scared I won't be strong enough. Yeah, once you feel that love, you will just realize, like, nothing can really harm you. Nothing can really destroy that love that you already have, because once you become that unconditional love, you become whole. And all, I was telling this before, and all the wounds of the scars that are, from the past will disappear. Unconditional love that has that level of or capacity of healing you, that you become completely new, and that you forget about, like, what's pain, what have I really suffered before. These things are not even memories anymore for you, and it doesn't matter anyway whatever has happened in the future, in the past, because you're loved now. And whatever what's in the past, it doesn't matter, because all that has brought you to that point of understanding. But we need to stop being afraid. I find also a lot that people is afraid of love, not afraid of for example, the I don't know, bad energies, or to be hate or this, but they are afraid of love. They are afraid to really feel that love, because a lot of people feel that they don't deserve it. And that's the thing that also we should ask ourselves. Do you feel that you deserve love? And if you don't feel that you don't deserve love, then ask yourself why you feel that you don't deserve love. Why? And work in that. The Latin people are still complaining about not speaking Spanish. Amigo Jonathan, pronto vamos a poner subtítulos en español. Okay, I think the questions are finished, and we are almost 1 hour. Okay, after this, I'm going to try to come to do more ayahuasca talks, because now I'm going to be in Peru for at least 2 more months and a half or something like that. So that means I'm going to be able to have a continual life where I can do a schedule to do these talks every week if possible, to maintain the connection. But also, please feel more than welcome to write to me. Sometimes I cannot answer you immediately, but I will always answer you or reply to you. I'm more than happy to help you, to guide you. I feel, I don't know when I say to guide you, but to help you to get any kind of realization for you to become better. And remember to be positive, to be grateful with your life. And remember also to check my blog for the calendar for next year. And as well, the campaign that I'm having for building the center, I have the land already. I hope I can make a video about the land for the center that I want to build, to have the space that I need to work with more people, and also to have more quality time to work, because the weekends are really good, but now also there is the point where some people need to go to the next stage, which is now the practices such diets with master plans that we have here in Amazon, and that's what I would want to offer to all of you. And so it's also in my blog, in donations, if you want to support this project. And I'm giving some things away. So for the people that has been already donating, now I'm in Peru, now I'm going to start sending you what has been promised there. I have seen many of you have been already donating. Thank you so much for your trust. I'm going to be in touch with you this week, sending you, either was the gifts that I promised there or the readings, or whatever you have paid to get there. So please check it. It's in Naisha.blog in donations. I'm going to write it down as well here in the comments. And there is also, my blog where you can check more articles. It's different kind of articles, not just all about ayahuasca, but also about, personal experiences, poems that I also like to write. If you find it useful, I'm happy also for that. And I wish you all a happy new year, and I wish that this year has been wonderful in all sense. Either things have been positive or negative. It's what you make of it. It's what you make of the circumstance of what has happened with you. There is not, bad or good things happening with us, really. It's, as I say, it's what we do with that. We, in the end of all these things, or the good and the bad, is what we do. We do the bad good, we do the good even better. It's all in our hands in the end. So good night, because I know in Europe it's night now. And yeah, I'm going to continue working here to have everything ready for all my other people that is coming for join this January. And I'm going out with my mom as well. So take care, and let me know if you want to write in these comments which would you like to be the next ayahuasca talks. If you have any suggestions about the subject, so we can do it for the next time as well. So take care, everybody, and good night. See you soon. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm not going. I just have seen many things appear here. Jared say, I think for most of us, the unconditional love is the biggest task in life, the purpose, because we live in roots of the opposite mother. Our heart is our true relationship. Yes, exactly, Jared, yes. Unconditional love is the final task of all of us here. And now, as we have different tools to achieve that, we have also different, circumstance or life experience that we have choose to reach the same point. And it's, as I say, it's just all up to us. And whatever experience that you are having in this moment in your life, if you're happy with it, it's okay. Okay, now I go. Have a good New Year. Don't drink too much. Bye.